Hey cuties, what's up? We are back with some more of the daily node, and we are going to be making a column question mark today, column, pillar, etc, etc. I didn't know what I want to do today. I was just going to make a chair to mimic the style of yesterday's table, which I probably will eventually, but I had an idea about this big project that I might construct, and I am probably going to try to make some pieces of that. So the pillar is going to be something that consists of that. So that's why we're doing a pillar today. So let's get to that. You can possibly already see them. I have a skull over here. Just ignore that. That's something I made, I don't even know how long ago, years, 6 years plus. Because I forget like when exactly I started doing Blender, so it's just, I've added that because I might want to see what that looks like with the pillar. Because I don't want to just make a regular pillar. I guess it could just be like a good starting point for the video, and then I'll end up modifying it off camera to be better. So what I'm actually going to do first is I was thinking, what would it look like if I did something else? Is it circle or is it the curved circle? I think it's just a circle. And we're going to make the rope aesthetic, actually. Just going to go ahead and edit that. Create an array, right? We start with an array, generate array, add empty planes access, come back over here, turn that off, object offset, click the empty, grab the empty, rotate it to like here, I think. That's going to be 270, I think. 270, then click on this and we want the 4 offsets. Then we're going to add a screw on top of that. Well, beneath it. Increase the range. Like so. Now, do we want it to be like that? I think I need to actually edit this. And make this closer because there's too much of a gap there. So it needs to be over here, and this needs to be there, just slightly across that. So there's no dead space on the inside. So we know about like that, but like, do we want it to be more stretched out? Like this? Or do we want it to be denser? I think we want it to be dense. Like that. Right? Let's go ahead and drop the... Can we drop how involved this is? And that says... I mean, if I remove some vertices from the initial thing, it would have gotten smoother, but we can live with this for now. It's not going to be for anything that requires that much. Computer might not be able to handle it for what I'm trying to do, though. That's fine, but maybe we make it a little bit higher. A very tall pillar. And I won't actually apply these. I'll just leave them like that because it doesn't really matter. Can I move this without destroying it? Yeah, it like that causes that to happen. If I take the... Yeah, and moving this as well freaks it out as well. Like this, the only way we can move this is if I apply these. It's just stuck here in the center for now. Let's add a donut and see what we can get away with that. Here on the bottom, like maybe there. And then scale it down so that it intersects with it a bit. Smooth that. Maybe drop that to there. Does it have a center? can't, because if I do this and then add a mirror and then click on that and then go Z, it's just gonna go down there. So if I wanted to like duplicate that, I'd have to drag it up here manually and place it wherever I wanted it. Which is not the end of the world, but can you delete this, please? Let's go ahead and see what this is going to look like in shading. Now this is the front. I grabbed a bunch of different stone textures off of Texture Haven to see what I would like the best. So we're probably just going to try a few of them until we get what we want. So of course, Control-Shift-T to select that and start opening. Like, obviously you can't see my window, but you'll be selecting your textures here. I don't know what they're all called though. I done like a handful. A lot of them start with a rock, but not all of them. We got a rock boulder, we got rocks ground, rock face, rock wall. Some of them aren't. Watch out, there's gray rocks down there. I swear some of them are missing, but we'll just go with rock boulder cracked. Now it's only 1K. Rock boulder dry 4K. Rock wall walk face. Rock dry. I'd have to turn them to look. Turn them to be gray, because I don't think this is gray, but yeah, it looks like Saturn right now, maybe because it doesn't have proper UVing. What does objects look like? Kind of better, but it's still like freaking out. Let me come over here and duplicate that, then just hide it so that we can just apply and apply so it actually has. Why does a UV just, okay, that's crazy. What does smart UV do? What is that gonna look like? Just a bunch of pieces over and over again, which is going to look horrendous, I'm assuming. The object has not changed. Generated. What about you? Like, trying to UV this is not going to be good. And this is just going to be like, yeah, just separated. The only issue with trying to do this is having a very ugly UV if you don't actually try and cut it yourself. Which you should be able to actually. I'm thinking it's going to be harder than it actually looks, but it isn't really. It's just a matter of like coming in here and like, I'll just grabbing a line and marking a seam, and then grabbing a line, marking seam, grab and then mark, and then grab and then mark. The only problem is like these will eventually come up front, right? UV unwrap, and you have that, but see, it looks nice, but you probably can see the seam somewhere sometimes, I assume. Okay, that does fix a lot of problems. What about objects now? Does that fix it, or no? It's still bad. It has to be UV slice and just pray for the best. I don't need you. Again, you always are doing this. Give me a bump. You into the normal. Then you into that. Maybe 0.2 perhaps. You can see the texture there a bit. Displacement's not gonna do anything, and never does anything because I don't know how to make it do anything. Yeah, it's not doing anything. I forgot how you force displacement to work. Oh wait, I remember how to do it now. My brain just unlocked. Just brain blasted. You have to add a modifier, a displacement modifier. I think, right? Displace? Is it just a displace or is it something else? Like you need a subdivision surface, which is gonna be fine, and then you need a displace question mark, and then you need to use a new texture, and you need the texture to be using the rock boulder displacement. Then you need to go to the thing here and then check the strength. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just go down here and then try to easily modify it. Crank that down off of 1. It's causing it to like open up in the middle, which might look fine. And the mid-level is a bit too much. Maybe you need to be higher. Increase your mid-level to 1. Then you need to just like combination of mid-level and that. Though having the center exposed actually isn't terrible. What happens here? What is going on with the texture to cause such devastation there? Strength down. Not crank that up. Subdivision up to give it more juice. But now it's like doing too much and like lower this. Yeah, some reason the displacement really crunches there. I can live with it just being like that for now. Yeah, I need to do this with the stuff that we've done in the past, but I completely forgot how to do it, but that's that. So that's okay. And with you, you're gonna use, what is hair doing here? I need to like remove that. I don't think I've done this on camera. You need to go to orphan data and then click on, it's just not, yeah, there we go. Purge. That'll remove anything that isn't being used currently. Is hair still here? Is it part of the skull? It's part of the skull, yeah. Then come back up here. Then we need to go back to orphans. Kill your orphans. It's always funny, like the words that you end up saying in this, like, you know, killing your orphans. Stone, then stone 2, stone ring, I guess. This should already have like a perfect UV, shouldn't it? It's set to UV, and yet it looks so cruddy, question mark? Value. Lower the value. And changing the value doesn't really do a whole lot. And the value on this needs to be changed, honestly. Surprised it didn't cause issues when I did that. 2. So the detail's a bit better. Yeah, but this though is ugly. What does your UV look like? It's a perfect thing, but it ends up making it look not nice. Let me come into UV and see if I prefer it if I come down here inside somewhere and just cut, mark a seam there, and then unwrap it. Yeah, that looks better than what it had by default. Maybe this be bigger or smaller. I think actually being big enough to go around the entire pillar is actually better. I don't know if I like the color either. It actually, well, I mean, it needs to be changed. It needs to be like a purple tint, but I might just need lighting for that. So what if I add a sun, a new sun? Crank it here. The other suns, you can go in here. The other suns, turn them off. Because the lighting, I think, is going to be a, like, purple. I might just have to use purple lighting for the scene rather than anything that actually making the pillars purple. Because with the lighting there, it looks fine. Because you can still have some of the stuff going through. This would be like a 3 maybe. Or a 2, no, a 1 is fine. And you'd have to have the worlds lowered. Because the world actually applies light. Like this actually applies light. So if you want something to be truly dark, you have to turn this down low, otherwise it's always going to be bright, because even if I kill the sun and turn it off, you see that there's still light being casted on this object, and it only, if this is at 0, we get true pitch black darkness, so you'd have to have like a 0.1, just so like there's reflections and whatnot, but then you get your purple as well. Also, this needs contact shadows as well turned on. Maybe like drop that down. Sound like a lavender. I mean, we're not gonna be using this. This is just for me in the future to know what this would look like. So you turn these all back on. Turn this back up to 1. Yeah, I'm kind of already like thinking this is okay. Then we can take you, duplicate you, throw you up to the top. Like so. If I grab this and move it up, does it change? No, it doesn't care about the z-axis. It only cares about the x and y. If I move it over there, oh, never mind. No, it doesn't care because I no longer have it as a thing, so I can just delete this and then go add modifier, generate mirror, and apply it to that, and then have it be on the Z. So now this is equal distance there. And then actually we probably should do this. Then go to the texture for this, which looks like it's not actually doing anything because it shouldn't have. It should still be in there, right? Yeah, it's in here. Oh, but it's because I don't have a another modifier and generate deform displacements. It's gonna be a 1. Gonna be using texture, which is using the thing, and strike down. Jesus Christ, it actually caused the invert. Add, generate, subdivision, put that here. It's weird that increasing the strength causes it to shrivel up like that. For the displacement of the object, if I go the other way, making it negative is fine. Is this not oriented right? Oh, the orientation on this is wrong. Uh-oh. That's why it looks weird. Object, edit, select everything, mesh, normals, flip, mesh, normals, recalculate, or set from faces. Then let me Look at the orientation. It's all blue. Okay, good. So now I have to like readjust the displacement here. Now that that's like increasing, it does increase it. So I might want to go backwards this time to a 0.3 or to negative 0.2, and then this negative point. We need to go up. Okay, I don't know where to go with this one. Negative 1. Negative 0.2 for now. And just to see what is this going to look like. I put like a bunch of skulls like that around a ring. I would have to make an array with this just to save time real quick. Change this to stone. It needs to be set to... It's weird that it's actually doing this. This doesn't have a UV map, does it? Oh, it does. I did UV. It's a horrendous UV because you see how ugly this thing is. But it actually does have a UV, so that's why it's actually doesn't look like trash. With the stone applied to it. So I'm going to take this and apply a array to this. Generate array. Oh my god, what happened to it? Why does it look like that? What the heck? Empty. Why is the thing over there, by the way? When did I accidentally do that? Cursor to world origin. Thank you. Selection to cursor. So with you want object, and I want this to be empty number 1. It's so weird that the face of this gets literally obliterated when I do that. I just want this to circle around there. Origins geometry. Let's see. Scale. That fixed that. Rotation. Location. That might have fixed it. And then take this and then spin. Yeah, take that and spin. Until we're over here. 326. Sure. Then just add the counts. Like so. Probably want to grab this and spin it. Oh shoot. Spin it in a way that makes it work. I think... I can't tell. I need to like move a count to know where it's supposed to be. Okay, there we go. Just use the push over here. Yeah, like that. I don't know if I want the stone, like I said, to be not this color, but a gray. So color, hue and saturation. Then we remove saturation to make it more gray. So it's half sat. The skulls are cool, but of course I'm not showing you how to make skulls. It's just I'm just using a thing that I've made in the past off camera. But we'll maybe get that at some other point. So I'm gonna move this down, and then press Control and should be S or A, Control A, and then location, and that'll drag everything back down. Actually, I don't like this. This isn't like facing the right way. It is facing right. It's just that it's clipping into the object because of how it's been modified. That's okay. So we got skulls up there or down there. We still need to make a base though. That I haven't figured out yet how that's gonna look. Yeah, I promise I'll do like a skull video at some point, but the whole point of making a bunch of assets is so that you can use them in future things to make it easier, so you don't have to keep making them. So I mean, the skull is poorly made. I need to make one way better to not have it be like 1,000 million faces and be so hideous, but it's just for now, right? It's just a placeholder for now. So add mesh cube. So I don't know if I want a cube or if I want a cylinder. You know, and like just have it starting there, then object, edit it. Then you can take the bottom and scale that outwards. Maybe up even. Then you know you can just have fun with that question mark. Like maybe cut into here and scale that down, kind of, and then do this and increase it. Smoothness would do that. Do I want it to, you know, actually don't hate that, even though it's not what I wanted to do. And take this and bevel that. What happens if you do the other way? Okay, it creates this. Ooh, we could do something with that. Because then we can extrude this and scale it in to create these holes like that. I wanted this to be something else, but I think I'd prefer to do that. And then, so the issue with that is I need to like stop first and then bevel set to, I'm pressing V so it does it on the vertices. Then you need to extrude scale and then do that. Then extrude scale as far as you want it to go, and it's all going inside. Then extrude scale again so that you have all the sharp faces. Then I'll just go ahead and insert faces into all of those as well, so that when we shade this smoothly it doesn't end up being too bad, and we'll just have to add a subdivision surface on this at some point. Take this and this and bevel them just to create a sharp edge on that, and then I'm going to take the bottom of this and extrude that downwards, I think. I could also add a cut here, then bevel that on the vertices as well, and then do the exact same thing where we extrude scale. Shoot. Redo. Extrude scale there, then extrude scale and pull it in. Extrude scale and then just a little bit, and then add a face to that. Like so. You could have like spikes here if you wanted to. We're kind of just having fun. If I was doing this off camera, I'd be able to do way more, because I would just be sitting here just trying to figure out what all I want to do. So I'm going to bevel on the vertices again. I'm going to subdivide, circle. Okay, it does not like that for whatever reason. Oh, because of the center pieces. What happens when I circle? Yeah, it screws up because they are connected to each other. You have to come in here at each individual junction and remove the dots, unfortunately, which is just tedium. That's usually what 3D modeling, doing art is. Even when I was doing drawing instead of 3D modeling, the tedium that comes with doing this stuff is just unbearable sometimes, right? Just drawing lines for 50 hours and whatnot, stuff like that. Making sure I'm recording. That would be horrible if I was not recording. Okay, all the in pieces have been removed. Will it work now? Loop circle. Yes, everything is a circle. Just give everything a good once over to make sure it's a circle. Then we're going to go ahead and extrude this outward and not really care about where it's being placed. Like that, right? And then we can maybe scale outward to pull it out. But then I'm going to scale on individual origins so that it makes them into spikes. What are y'all doing? Hello? What happened here? Did I miss this? I missed one. Whoops. My bad. Circle again. Everything looks fine. I mean, one of the problems is for my audio to sound okay, I have to be really close to my mic. Like my mouth is like less than a centimeter away from the actual microphone. And I have all this stuff on it, so it's actually obscuring my vision. Like my left eye is missing 40% of the screen. So if you see like my model do that, it's because I'm moving around the mic to look at the screen. So it actually, I might miss something like that. So again, we're going to switch this to median point and scale, extrude it up and scale it out. Then switch to individual origins so that they scale on themselves down. I could also like just plug that in, but I think we'll just leave it there. I think that's okay, right? But it might be a bit much, like median points. And then maybe move them down. Like that. There we go. Anything else I want to do to this? It's already shaded smooth, but we need to go over here and generate a subdivision surface like everything else in its grandma. It needs a subdivision. Bottom of this needs to be extended downward. Insert face to the bottom of this. I can't see how far I'm going because of the subdivision. That's fine though. Then I'll add a cut to the bottom of that. Can't add cuts to anything because of how that works, but we can take this whole edge and then bevel it to force a cut into it. There we go. Subdivision surface back on. It's 2 times look like? Yeah, it doesn't look any better. It's a cool looking shape, but I don't think we're really gonna get anything interesting. Like a good look out of it. I might have to like start over on the bottom there. We have to like look at it, what it looks like. UV. This is gonna be an issue because I'm gonna have to just like smart UV and see what that looks like. This is not smart, having these cut like that. It can't even go over to this. It took forever. Let's save before it ends up breaking. Stone. That's fine. Question mark, but again, I don't love that. Might also be doing too much with the stone color. I mean, learned to like, well, anyone watching this learned a bunch of different ways you could create something, but I'm just gonna get rid of it and start over. Like just a standard cylinder might be all we want. Question mark. At the bottom here. We were like just feeling things out, of course, right? But like, I think we need to just go pretty standard here. Nothing too fancy. Bevel that. Because what I actually want to do was to cut this and then extrude it scale X and Y inwards. And then that's it. That's literally all I wanted to do originally. But I was like, you know what? Let me just try the... what you call it? The new thing that we learned, which is doing that on the vertices. Shade smooth on that. You can also just generate mirror. No, not a mask. Generate mirror on that, and then Z so that it matches the top as well. We could come in here and slice 2 times, then bevel, then like physically move this down, and then individual origins, I think. Extrude scale X and Z, or X and Y. Insert the faces. Here, 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 and here. Do that. Then, well, maybe just centerpiece. Get that there, because this already has a line at the bottom. We just have to actually bevel that down and bevel this. Bevel that up, bevel this down. Like so. Alright, then what do we want to do? Anything else? I mean, we can't see what this looks like right now. I probably should actually... oh, where's the front? This is the front. Should actually just give this a good old slice. This is a problem. Need to insert face here as well. Even pull this down just to round out the bottom of it. But we'll take this, mark that as a seam. mark that, and that has a seam. Then just systematically grab these, mark them. Mark the top, even though I probably should do the same thing here, which is do that, then mark that, then come down the center around the back, grab this, and then mark that. So that connects all that, that perfectly rips that all apart. UV, select everything, unwrap. Yep, that's fine. Shading, stone, which of course it looks fine, but because there's no displacement modifier being applied to it, it looks just okay. But I do believe, okay, computer doesn't like that. I want to come into here and grab this and this, well, and that, and select everything inside that. So that's Control L, I'm pressing. And coming into here, applying a new, assign that to that material. I'm gonna go in the shading, kill this, well, not the whole thing, don't kill everything. Hello, undo, I'm undoing. I hate when it does this. When it won't. Control L again. When it won't undo what you've done. Assign that. Delete you, add input, RGB. Set this to black. Plug that into there. So now the insides of this are black. I want to decrease the value on this. To get it closer to black, because using the same color over and over again does become a problem. You don't want to overuse the same color. It will become ugly eventually. This could also be like some sort of jewel in there instead of that. Which, let me see. Let's see what that would just look like for a second. Remove the displacement, not that that matters. Base color, roughness, the normal. Blood red, a little bit metallic. Max shine. Transmission, crank that bad boy. Sub screen refraction 0.1, but then like bring it back down again. Translucence. Yeah, does that look better or what? I think these are standing out too much. If I wanted to do that, I might want to do it with the skulls and not the ring, right? Because that's just doing too much. But the skulls, like ruby skulls or diamond skulls, would be pretty cool. But you know what's going to happen if I try to use the crystal texture from yesterday on the skulls. My computer's going to catch on fire. I've used the day before. This is just undo. Hello, undo, please. It's just lagging behind, that's why. Okay, I think it's back to normal. But you guys, you're using stone. Let's give you a new texture. And see what you look like if you were... I guess none of this other stuff matters. I just need to change this to a color and then transmission, subscreen, and that. Meh. On the other roughness needs to go away. Point 1, point 2, point 3. And sure, that looks okay, but I feel like it's doing too much now. Question mark. Yeah, there's not enough in this that's doing anything. I know what I might want to do. These do look sick though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like these like red crystal skulls look really sick. But we can't keep that. So switch back to stone. I'm gonna have to kill some orphans, I think. Get rid of some excess stuff. I think what we want to do is take this. We're not going to be using red, we need to use purple. We're going to play around with this again until it kind of open, right? In the center here. So that does that. So you do want to go down. Four might be too much. So add mesh cylinder. I'm going to put a crystal-like object in the center of this. Add scale on the Z. And just have that fill in the center. I think that's probably good. Edit this. So I want to just grab just this to insert faces so that it doesn't look too bad. Grab the top. Give it a face insertion as well. Go to the bottom. Grab the bottom. Give it a face insertion as well. This pillar here, I might want to just cut into it as well, just for the sake of trying to not have it look bad. Shade smooth. That's in there. Then we're going to go ahead and change this to deep purple. There's like a purple indigo color, so now you have a little bit of color breaking up the monotonous stone color button. We're gonna go crank that to a 0.1 for the metallic, even though we don't really need metallic. It might actually mess things up. Transmission, crank that bad boy, and then we need to subscreen. Screen space refraction, translucence. And the translucence not really got anything, so now that looks like a purple crystal in there. Then let's go ahead and grab this. Hold on. Grab this purple. So I'm just holding left click on it and putting it here to the emission. So I'm just gonna click this up one. It's starting to lose its like color, unfortunately. Because you're gonna do that, that's generating a light now. But then like it no longer resembles what it's supposed to. Right? It's just glowing, which we kind of don't want. And what we could do is not have that and have a like what we did yesterday, duplicate this and put it inside that object. and then have that be right. Is it actually doing anything though? Or is it unable to be seen? No, it is glowing. It just isn't being represented by the crystal on the inside, which is fine. We can just destroy that. So a little bit of purple in there is pretty good. Honestly, might want to make this material the crystal as well. Just to, again, break that up. Well, that's looking pretty good. I mean, this is kind of bothering me. It's not really doing anything. Grab that, pull it down. Honestly. Sharpen that out. No. Grab the edge here and bevel that. I need to remove this seam, clear that. Is this still going all the way down? It is not, so mark seam there. I think there's room to play around with this. Like we can add something here. This could be the moment we, you know, cut into this and, I don't know, bevel on the thing like that. It's so small because of how big this is. I can't really do that. Just bevel down again and then extrude scale X and remove the Z, so you only go on this axis. Then you can just have it like that, question mark. And we're actually in just a flow state right now of creation. I'm not trying to imitate anything. Like everything else, I'm trying to imitate an object. This, I'm just trying to make something that looks cool. Well, honestly, as fast as possible, because I could probably make this look even cooler if I wasn't trying to just do it quickly as well, because that's also setting us back. Actually, let's undo those face insertions, because I want to grab this edge and bevel them. No, unlike all the other ones, we're going to bevel that. I didn't bevel the others, but I should have, probably. Insert face into you. And then we need a cut here and a cut here. Mark seam. Do I need mark seam anywhere else? Or is it just that? I think it's just that. Take this, Control L, assign it to crystal, so that's going to be crystal up. Go to UV editing, select everything, unwrap. What's the problem here? This is not sharp. Why is this not sharp? Did I miss something? This has a edge to it, so why does it look like this? Do I need another line here to straighten that out? Question mark? Or do I need to just remove this one altogether? Dissolve edge to force that to be decent. What is this? Oh, that's the spin. Oof. Does that mean I have to like increase the size of this just so it stops clipping? Only enough to not see it anymore. I might have to just actually just not disintegrate, but like remove some of the bottom of this, which is going to be, well, the bottom and top, which is easy. Just click the bottoms of this and then the top as well. Try to get all 4 circles. And the other one, wherever it's at, there it is. Then just control plus. Until it's fine. We can probably go even further than that, right? So there. And just delete faces, maybe. Not vertices. Yeah, delete faces on that. Then you probably want to go into UVs and unwrap that. That's not clipping to this. I don't have to make it any bigger. We might have gone too far. I think the edge there is actually doing too much, but maybe it'd be fine if it was just stone. So you come into there, come into here, control L. Assign it back to stone. Is that okay? It actually feels like there should be a trough here. I mean, like, it feels like this should be extruded down. So 1, then as deep as I want it to go, then 1 more. Grab your sides, fill them in like that. And then you'd have some sort of a liquid in there if you wanted to. It's almost fountain-esque. Yeah, we got like a better shape out of that. From that, we need to unwrap this though. Right? And redo that, remark that. And we can probably just unwrap that as is, honestly. Now it's like a matter of, do I want to take all of that, make sure you move this. Even further down than that. Go to you, yeah, there, and then scale this on the X and Y outward. So again, it's like it's more fountain-esque. Unwrap again. Yeah, I think I like that more. And honestly, these skulls could be... where is the front? Like they could be pushed out, maybe even down. Like that into the stone. Then of course control A, location, and then off of that they could be dropping liquid into the thing there. Just like, how do you feel about that? Control A. Like, does it need to be below, actually? To work out? Or what? I don't know. I don't think I liked any of the places that I ended up putting it. I think it's fine there. I still think we need some sort of like a liquid here. Object, edit, not sculpt, edit. I need this. going to duplicate that and press P to make it its own object. I'm going to take it and move it up here. Question mark. Up to like there. Be lower. And then actually come into here and edit this. +1, then control plus again. I'm going to drag this way down actually. It's deep, so I might as well make it deep. No. Straight down. Unwrap again. I take this and have more room to have it below. It's being mirrored for now, but I don't think it should be. Cut that in half, subdivide everything again, subdivide again. Edit, and I want to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to hide them. So press H. That's the first time I'm doing that on camera. I'm hiding that because I want to go into sculpts and grab this and like trying to form this upwards, but it's not really working. Let me just undo that then. Control I, come to vertices and vertex groups, assign that instead. Then we're going to go ahead and add a generate displacement. We're going to use a new one, and it's going to be of clouds. Then we're going to go back to the displacement and do that. Mid-level's fine. So there we go. That's gonna do that. Then we can come over here and add a new thing. Well, these should be removed. Liquid, because I don't know if it's gonna be water. I mean, it should be blood, but then I would have to change the crystals to be to red, maybe, to match the blood, and that's not gonna make sense. So we could just try for regular water off the bat. Max roughness, coats, crank that up to the max. Transmission, subscreen or space screen refraction, translucency, 0.33. Is this the refraction of water? 1.33? Question mark. And then maybe just can be set to just white. This is in the way, so you can't really see. Or we can like force it to be a deeper blue so you can tell that it's supposed to be water, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. Or we can bring it back down to red to give the implication of blood. But then again, like if we're gonna use blood, then it's like, okay, well, it looks like it should match that. Also, it's being mirrored, so it's up here too. Which wouldn't make any sense, right? So let's go to our crystal color and just change it to red and see what that looks like. I mean, the red's fine, but again, like this is going to be potentially in a purple lit area. Let's just turn this one on and turn it to purple real quick. Oh, wrong. I was clicking on the wrong thing. It it should be really subtle. So yeah, like that, it just ends up looking weird, like the purple on the red. The red's like showing up too much. Okay, the red does look nice though. Even more so that I think I should delete this, like edit this and do the exact same thing I did before. Let me come in here and make a mark seam here actually, so I can just take everything that isn't that, and then scale on the X and Z, and like just really make this a fountain, so it's like a pillar and a fountain at the same time, like so. Potentially increase the base depth like so. We're really just getting in the weeds now. Move this down further. Move this down as well, maybe. We're going to take this angle and bevel it. Bevel that for a little bit of extra sharpness there. Now the top doesn't make sense. I'm going to like not have that look like that. I'm probably going to apply the mirror and then cut the top one short. Then do the same thing I was doing earlier, which is grabbing this, duplicating it, and then pressing P and selection. And then selecting that, moving it up, and then moving these, selecting liquid, adding the displacement modifier. Actually, that doesn't exist anymore, does it? We're going to use the texture here. Edit this. This is why you have to cut this. Cut it twice, and then subdivide. Should be fine. Then we can just lower that. Could go even further. Let's just go even further for this demonstration, so you get even more detail. I'm gonna drop the mid-level so it's 6 down, further down. Let me drop what that's doing so it's not so sharp. Because I could increase the size of the cloud texture that we have here. Shouldn't be using clouds? Hello? You're supposed to be on the clouds right now. Depth. Size. Like just changing that makes it look like it's... What you call it? Is this using clouds too? Or is it using... Yeah, this is using clouds too, so it's using the same thing. It's not using its own distortion anymore, so I need to be careful with that, with what I'm doing. Let's just like undo some of those steps. There we go, and then this can be just the blood. It's like reflecting so much of the light, unfortunately. I mean, I think some of that has to do with the coat here. Remove some of the coat. Yeah, they didn't need the coat. Sheen. It's not using any sheen, but we really don't want it to be. Oh, I never changed the crystal back to purple. Do we just want to leave it at red now? I don't know. Again, we're getting way too much into the weeds, but then we can add a path here. Edit, rotate on the Z. 90, hello? Rotate Z, 90, okay, never mind. rotate Z 90 here. Now I can do that. No. And you'd have to do some extra work on this if you're going to make it for real, because this blood should be staining the stone. So we'd have to draw in blood stains on stone around the corners where the blood would be seen. But I don't think we're going to be spending the time doing that today, because that is too much work. This needs to be geometry. There. We're going to head and generate a mirror like that. Then we're just going to go like this and like that. Proportion needs to be like lowered. This also needs to be more like this, and then this is down. Then we need to is it Alt S to scale this up. Sharp. Can I spiral this? No, it won't let me do that. I forget how to do that though. Yeah, it doesn't. You can't see that it's doing it either. It's gonna start blending together. I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't know if I like this looking like this. I need this, increase this. Or decrease it, I guess. It's probably okay, I don't know. And to convert this to a mesh, then we can edit this. Probably shouldn't have kept so many faces though. Connected only. So I want to maybe have these not on the same stride, right? Then that's already in the right spot. Add array to you. Turn that off. We need another empty, a new empty, empty2. Objects, offsets, empty2. I don't know how it's already doing that, maybe because I need to do location, rotation, scale. Then grab empty 2. Actually, we need to see how many arrays we have. Around 2 arrays. How many do you have? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 arrays, and then we need to grab you and then rotate this. Until it's slotted correctly, which is kind of difficult to do. Rotate Z. Have to do it like this. Get more finesse with it. And we could also add a displacement modifier to this. Displace texture. And drop this down. Do you want to go up? Maybe. I think that's doing too much damage, in my opinion. Some of that looks nice, like these incredibly sharp cuts, but I think that's just too much. So 1, what about just going upwards? Upwards is fine. It starts deleting some stuff too. What is your orientation? It is appropriate. Then you can be given liquid. That was a lot of work for something that might look stupid. Well, I don't actually think that looks terrible, if I'm going to be honest. Probably pretty cool. Just should the inside of this be liquid instead? I can't see what I'm clicking on. Like, should this be textured liquid? With the like insides here changed to something else. What that something else is, I don't know. Maybe just black. You could never go wrong with black or white. Let's go crystal 2. Well, I'm not using crystal anymore, so we could just change crystal to be just black, question mark. Like, we could just change it down to black and everything is fine in the world, because that the centerpiece is still going to be red, so yeah, that's fine. Just need to remove everything else. It can be shiny in there, I guess. Just need to get rid of the transmission and the subscreen. If you want to say subscreen, this screen space refraction, turn that off. And just change this to black, I guess. Now it's like, do I want this? Do I want this to be black in there, or what? Because I don't know if this should still be stone or if it should be black as well. And also this needs some displacements, I think. Might be hard to do. Or not, actually. So go back into this edit. Select that. It's going to select everything that's that texture. And that stays fine. But then we need this. Control L on that and that. The bottom of that isn't... Yeah, this just isn't detailed enough. It doesn't have enough subs. subsurface to give it texture, so we might just leave it like that. And what about you? What happens if I, again, do crank this like that? I mean, it looks sicker. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks way sicker if I apply it like that, so fine. Well, we can keep that like that. And of course the center is red. This, should we increase? Why did it change all of a sudden? Is it because it's using the wrong texture? Or does like 4 just really look like that? That is growing, so we do want this to go down. Yeah, 0.4 is just too much. Is there any way for me to do that? Like, click this. Click on everything. Then individual origins. Scale. It's just going to scale them straight down. Active elements. Yeah, like I don't know how to scale in a way that lets me do it from just their local area. Mirror editing, proportional editing, sharp, connected. None of that stuff is going to change anything, so yeah, I'll just undo that. Just gotta live with it not being seen too well. And I don't know if we, like, this looks cool just having that above as well, but I think it needs to be just changed. So I think what we need to do now is click on this, click on that, apply that, but then we need to come up here and edit this and remove. And also this needs to not have a mirror anymore because it's not being mirrored. Edit this. Possibly first off, take this whole thing and click P to make it its own object. Origins geometry. Edit hue. Then we can just go from here and just Control plus all the way down until we get to there and delete the faces. Let's see what we got left. We can go ahead and fill this in and then grab the face and then insert face into it like so, and then I guess possibly just Control plus plus until we get to there and then lift it up like so, and then maybe that's fine. We do need to mark seam there. Pull this up. Proportional editing needs to be turned off. Pull that up. EV editing. Unwrap. Like so. Like, do we want to do anything with this though? Like, I guess I could go with one of you. Well, let me just delete this actually. Add UV sphere. Drop this to a 20. So we're trying to like remove how many faces that has. Then drop you. They can just go like that. Shade smooth and drop it just a bit. Do we still have crystal as an option? No, because we changed it to black, but it doesn't really matter. We can take crystal 1 and actually just rename that to crystal. 0 here, black there. That's still on. Transmission still on. Shade flat. What is going on with this that's making it look so weird? So it looks like it's still emitting light, even though I turned emission off. Oh, there's no roughness, that's why. There we go. Needed its roughness activated. So it can go like that, and then we can just not even waste time with trying to duplicate that or do the array thing. Just duplicate it. Actually, no, we can delete that. Take this, generate a mirror on that Y, apply that, duplicate it, cursor, then rotate this way 90 degrees. Just gonna type in 90 over here. And now we have 4 crystals up there. Then I'm going to add a torus. Pull that up to here. Whoops, no. Individual origins. Rotate it this way, 90. It's going to be a negative 90 degrees. On the x-axis. And then just shrink that until it wraps around that appropriately. Actually seems pretty okay like that. Might even like scale it on the Y. Give it more depth. Then we can shade smooth. Give you a stone. Well, you need to have your scale changed. Give you the stone texture. We need to go ahead and change its UV though, because it sucks like that for what we need it to do. So find the back edge. Just grab any edge in the back. Any edge in the back, I said. And mark seam. Go to UV, cut it open. Now the texture's back to being okay. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab that, add generate mirror on the Y around this, so it goes to the other side. Going to apply that, duplicate it, rotate it on the, well, hold on, 3D cursor, rotate Z, 90, and then there we go. And now it looks like that. That seems fine. It's just, do we want this to be red just to match the red, or do we want like have purple? As again, now that we've chosen red as an aesthetic, we can't have any other colors anymore. Otherwise, it just doesn't look nice. So we'll just have to go with red. I'm just gonna edit this a bit more. I'm going to move this up so that I can cut into here. Didn't mean to do that. Increase that. Like so. Probably just extrude that up as well. Grab the edge here and bevel that. This, bevel that. Sort of line into it as well. Maybe even need to do that. Going to grab you and maybe just like scale you down actually, so that doesn't look that bad. What is the UV on this now though? Is it still fine? It's still okay. Doesn't need to be anything weird. Also, I don't need this to be there actually. That doesn't need to be like that. Clear that seam. Because this whole section could just be one big piece. Same thing for the bottom, but I don't know if I want to bother like messing with that right now. Again, we're kind of like speed running now at this point. There we go. And that would be that. So do we need anything else? I think we're good. I think this is a pretty decent thing. Because this is just like a proof of concept or something I'm trying to do. And I just need a pillar for the room. But it's not even like a set piece of that's going to be a focus of what I wanted to do. It's just going to be a column in the background. Right? So it doesn't need to be special, but we're just going to use this anyways. I don't know if I'm going to be using it or if I'm going to be adding any modifications to it. I don't know. We'll have to see. So I think we're good on that. I mean, you can just always just keep coming in and doing more adjustments here and there to like what you would want to have. Also, this needs to be cut. Oops. Cut here. So to make sure that looks nicer than it was. Again, like I was saying, you could just like cut into this and just keep adding edges and geometry and, you know, extrude, scale, X and Y. Then the same thing, you know, extrude scale X minus the Z to push it in. Extrude scale X minus Z, push it in again. Then you have like a little extra shape there. Cut into that, cut into that, cut into you. Then once more onto the breach of modifying the UV for this. Like so. Yep. I mean, that just adds a little extra kick to it. Right? I can't even like really use this as a thumbnail because this part here is so fantastical that I would just have to use just this section by saying I can't use that. I can't have the whole thing. Like this would be the thumbnail, right? Like you can't see anything from this being the thumbnail. So it would have to be something like this. Right? Really zoom in on that. Like that. Or whatnot. Even though like, it looks crazy. I think I'm done, question mark, with this object. It's been an hour and a half. I don't know what else I would add to it. Again, if I was doing this off camera, I would probably be here for a while. But these videos are meant to be quick, so there we go. There is a spooky like column pillar that will potentially be used in the future for a project, but it's like I don't know if I even have the will to make the thing I'm thinking about. So we'll have to see. Yep, that is going to be it because I think I cannot sit here all day trying to craft this. So I think this is acceptable enough for now. So yeah, cuties, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers and think about becoming a member. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed because we're working on watch time and subscribers. And don't forget we have a throne now as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew and Alexgkiller 880. I'm just trying to like change this so we can like create like fake motion right now for the video. Like that, it looks like it's moving when I do that. Anyways, so cuties, thanks for watching. Tune to the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype, and comments. You know the do. See ya.